Charles IV, King of Bohemia.
Hello and welcome back to another stream of Kingdom Come Deliverance with our very first playthrough. Gonna carry on today with
So don't try and run before you can walk, because you still got a long way to go.
making our way on this very long road, as Arthur says. And yeah, we were just in the middle of this mission, Ginger and the Pickle, which is like mission number 8 out of 29. And we were looking for Ginger, the missing Neuhof stable boy, because he witnessed something at the massacre that happened there by the Cumin. That, you know, we have to find him to investigate further. However, we're also pretty low on our stats. Like, our nourishment is still fine, I guess, but our energy is sinking lower and lower. So we gotta definitely take care of that soon. Especially since it's also getting later in the night here. Hello there, Dr. Darling, welcome in. And hey there, Afro, welcome in as well. My Lord, mein Herr, mein Lord. I've been ambushed once so far, and it was the only time that I used fast travel as well. Which was kind of funny because I died. I didn't even have like a weapon at that time, I think. And then I reloaded, went the exact same way, and they didn't, like, they weren't there. So it really seemed like it was just purely scripted for the fast travel purpose. So I've been really trying to avoid fast travel up until that point, but I kind of went back and forth that way like a couple times. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna, you know, try fast travel once. And of course, immediately got ambushed. It's like, okay then. You really don't want people to fast travel, apparently. But yeah, I heard about that being like a frequent issue when fast traveling. Of course, like once we're proficient enough with the leveling, skill points, etc., you know, then that's gonna be less of a hassle, I reckon. dealing with. Yeah, so we were looking for ginger here. That being said, we definitely need to catch some shut-eyes, so getting back home and just sleeping a bit would probably be a good idea. We can just continue, you know, the next time. Hello there, Ogoki, welcome in. But yeah, pretty long road here, but it's gonna do it. Quite a beautiful night here. Like the atmosphere of different times of the day. Yeah, no headlights. Not even a smartphone.
Yeah.
Let me see. I don't actually have a torch equipped right now. That's what I was wondering here. Okay, just the torch. I remember like one of the first clips I ever saw of this video game was like totally random, out of context. Like, I didn't even know what game it was. But it was like a fight that Henry had with a pretty, you know, badass like knight in full armor at like a bonfire. And I still remember like the atmosphere of it being quite impressive. Like, looked so realistic in a way. Also how dark the nights were and how much having like a light source, you know, really made a difference. But also like the reduced sight due to the helmet that the person playing was wearing. So I really like that kind of like immersive aspect of this game when it comes to the times of the day for sure. Like just how dark the night gets. I have no idea what I got an achievement for. It appeared like for a split second and then disappeared again. I think the overlay didn't really load proper there. I assume it's something related to riding or the night. Okay, what is this place? Oh yeah, just like outside of Rete.
No! Get to the chopper!
Were you not, Dr. Darling? I mean, I wouldn't have minded to play some Elden Ring, but if I do that, then we're never gonna get those two games finished in half a year or something. at this pace. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to play that game, though. I mean, it looks gorgeous, and you know, I had a really good time with Bloodborne. You know, like with the boss fights, it wasn't nearly as intimidating as it seemed at first. Like, definitely in a way, you know, the anticipation for some bosses, and I mean, you know, some, you know, like smaller boss fights or like characters definitely kicked my ass on multiple occasions, but overall it was definitely a lot more manageable than I thought it would be. Now I have no idea if Elden Ring is gonna be, you know, too similar in that regard. I think the attack patterns can be tricky if you don't really learn them that well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I do like boss fights. Oh yeah, that makes sense, you know, kind of like an inn. Not directly in the city, but like close to the outside walls here. Because not every behavior at the inn was like desired within the city. That's something I also really like about the map layout in this game, you know, it really makes sense. Like, for example, how all the coal burners, you know, they're all like next to the water side. But I also like the placement of buildings and all that. Yeah, that's really cool that you did by Kingdom Come, Dr. Darling. Have you installed it yet? Like, have you given it a shot? Oh, that's a private area? Yeah, I didn't even just want to talk to people.
God be with you. Do you know if there's anyone around here who could use my help?
Aye, there could be something for you. Sir Hanush is convening the Ratai tourney again at the Upper Castle. It's always a great occasion with duels all day long. You can still enroll tomorrow, if you think you're good enough.
I don't know about that one. That's kind of funny how it's like, oh yeah, there's something totally new. There's a Rattay tourney, I'm sure you never heard about it before. Like, honestly, the Rattay tourney has become much more of a frequent phrase than Henry saying I'm quite hungry. At least in my playthrough. It's like a bigger meme, you know, if I constantly talk about the Rattay tourney and I still haven't enrolled yet.
May the Lord watch over you.
Yeah, exactly, Afro. It's like, shut up, Miller. Like, even when I'm sleeping and waking up, he's greeting me with that phrase. Okay, so how much do I get for all of my hair meat that has gone bad? 6.5. I mean, it's better than nothing, that's for sure. Damn, drinking water. Quite a rarity here. At least if it's, you know, a very clean one. But yeah, let's sell my hair meat here.
Let's talk about the price.
Alright, sir.
Agree?
I'd almost shake on that. Almost. Finally, a reasonable sum.
Okay, and then we can also sleep here at the inn, which is convenient as long as it isn't like super expensive. Otherwise, you know, it's not that far to my own home.
Can I sleep here?
Aye, there's room here. For how long?
Just one night.
Just the one night?
No problem. But you pay in advance.
I mean, 2. That's definitely worth it. I can't even haggle that amount. Now, I guess haggling is always worth it, because it's always like a reputation gain opportunity, so I don't see a reason not to haggle, unless you don't want to like waste time on that type of stuff.
That's quite a lot. Can we discuss the price?
Yeah, 2 isn't really that much.
Are we agreed?
Come now, just a little more and we have a deal.
I wonder what happens if I just stay on 1.8 and be like, nah. Like, I would come closer to you, but the closer I can come to you is like matching what you said, and you know, I wanna like get more out of what you want.
You're flaying me here.
Well, a little more and we'll call it a deal.
Okay, he's quite stubborn.
You'll like it here. Like sleeping on a cloud it is.
So this time we didn't get a reputation gain. Maybe we can't get it with the same vendor, you know, multiple times in a row. Which would make sense, otherwise you could pretty much grind your reputation that way. But just like, you know, selling like one item, heckling, and then doing it again.
Where do I go to sleep?
On the upper floor of the inn. There's steps up to it outside. Your chamber is the one in the middle. God be with you.
Playing some dice. Oh yeah, we played the dice game against the guard we did patrol with in Rete. And we won the first time. That was pretty good. Win the tournament, but I'm still in the middle of searching for Ginger, and you know, Captain Bernard, he already kind of like was quite angry with us, you know, for taking so much time already. So Red Attorney, since it kind of like repeats itself either way, you know, it doesn't really get full priority here for me right now. That being said, maybe it would be good to kind of go back to Neuhof first and see if I can talk to Captain Bernard again. Kind of like re-report to him, if you will. There's my trusty horse. Oh yeah, I forgot. I should probably... I wonder if I can actually feed my horse as well. But I don't think so. The dog, however, we can.
Look what I've got for you. You'll love this.
Unfortunately, I don't have anything for him. I did, but I'd like lots of dried meat. But yeah, Henry would definitely eat something raw. This bread is about to go bad here. Some wine. Yeah, probably not a good idea. Well, better get some more food. Which I probably could buy from the innkeeper here, to be fair. Yeah, it's like teasing like, look what I have. Well, it's nothing. That dog is never gonna trust me again. I think I might still be a bit early for everyone. Because the innkeeper isn't really around here. Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny how that jolly music from the inn keeps on playing. And there it goes. Interesting sight, huh? Hello there, Nikolaki. Welcome in. Not really, to be honest. Yeah, I was really bad with a bow when in the only mission where I really had to use it, I guess. But yeah, I definitely will try to get better at it. Yeah, honestly, we haven't really done like a whole lot of fighting yet. Like definitely, you know, a decent amount, but we were mostly just running around and talking to people and reading stuff. Doesn't really seem like I can interact with any of this. Maybe later when more opportunities unlock. Yeah, just choke this random citizen. I mean, there's no one here to kind of like spot the crime. Easy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look if Captain Bernard is still here.
God be with you.
I think Ginger is mixed up in it somehow.
Why do you say that?
The hoof pick I found on the dead bandit in the woods is his.
That is fucking suspicious.
He acted suspiciously when I questioned him.
What do you mean?
Well, he was squirming and didn't really say anything.
He might just have been in shock.
He disappeared right after we found those bandits in the woods. And I think I know where he went.
Where?
To the charcoal burners. He has friends there.
We've got to find him. But if his friends really are hiding him, I doubt they'll talk to my men. You should search for him, Henry. Go, before the trail turns cold. I'll send a report to Ratai.
Very well, sir.
Good luck to you.
It's definitely cool there's some new dialogue to kind of like, you know, recap what's happened. And given he's my superior, you know, it also makes sense that I would have to report to him. Not just do all of this myself. So the last time I was saying that we had to go upstream, right? So we gotta find again the side that the river flows in.
Yeah.
It's really cool how the map changes when you get really close into like a location like this. That's such a cool effect, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so water's flowing downstream here into the western direction. It really must have been over here, right? That was the last time I didn't like really find him. Have I talked about more of a northern? But I think, you know, the northern charcoal burn is just the entire area here. I'm gonna go back upstream and have a look at the tail end there. We could also, again, talk to the charcoal burners just to be sure.
My respects to you.
Has anyone here seen Ginger?
That boy from the stud farm?
Yes, that's the one. Is he around?
No, he's not here. But he passed through not long ago on the way to Tomberg. Follow the stream to the west, and you'll find more charcoal burners there. God be with you.
Okay, never mind. They do talk about the west side. So that's where we go. Almost at the tail end here. I didn't come across any on this side. Unless, of course, you know, that... I mean, over there are some. But that's not part of the area anymore. It's still worth talking to.
My respects to you.
I'm looking for Ginger, a stable boy from Neuhof. Do you know where I might find him?
Well, if you go south from here, you'll come across Old Andrew's Inn on the road. If you go along the road from there to the east, you'll reach Neuhof.
I know where Neuhof is. The boy isn't there.
Ah, I see. I can't help you then. I've never noticed anyone of that description around here.
That's odd. The charcoal burners by the stream told me they know Ginger and that he comes to visit you.
Horseshit! They probably just said that to get rid of you. Nobody likes a stranger sticking his nose into their business.
It's the business of my liege lord. I'm here because of what happened at Neuhof, and that boy knows something about it. Let me talk to him.
Hold your horses. First, prove you're with the garrison.
How? You want me to bring the whole garrison here?
If there's no other way. Because there's been 2 brutes asking after him too. And they look like they'd cut his throat without blinking.
So I can give the bandits and prove that I'm right. Worth a try, I guess. But then again, you know, no one allowed me to kill those bandits.
I need to question Ginger, not go on some wild goose chase through the woods. If more people are slaughtered because of you delaying me, you'll be to blame.
If anyone gets slaughtered, it'll be because you didn't deal with those bandits. So don't point the finger at me.
Right. That's a really flawed logic there, dude. He should really be regretting that. Well, we did read about the charcoal burners already. We did also read up about the conciliation cross. The fuck? So the game is pretending like these are new entries, and it would actually make sense because we never came across anything to trigger, okay, these are conciliation crosses, new entry. They were just like given to us. So maybe that we had so many entries at the start of the game wasn't really intended. Yeah, that's kind of weird. It's saying that it's like new or something. So what, do I have to like look for the entire, like in the entire area for the bandits? I mean, likely they're in the woods, of course, and maybe like also really around here. It's just weird that that symbol isn't being displayed within the area, making it seem like it really is just, you know, the whole area we have to like search for. I feel like where the point is would be logical, like in the deeper woods. Burger's sword.
What's going on out? Jesus. What are you doing, you murderer?
I didn't do it.
I didn't kill anyone. When I got here, the body was already lying there.
What are you doing here? Nearby a corpse? Nearby a murder?
Well, what about you? You know? Like, what are you doing next to a corpse? But of course, you know, the moment you start looting someone, like, even though I haven't seen like a soul in these woods for like ages, like some random NPC comes along. And you're telling me that's not scripted? Now that shit seems way too convenient sometimes.
I'm looking for humans and killing them.
You? Very likely. I saw you looting the body.
I was looking for signs of life to see if I could help.
Uh-huh. And could you?
Unfortunately, it was too late.
I've got a funny feeling about you, but I can't be absolutely sure you did it.
That's a relief. And what were you doing here exactly?
What do you mean by that?
You're carrying the murder weapon? Aha.
You're carrying the murder weapon.
You won't prove it's the murder weapon, but I'll prove I know how to use it.
Is that so?
It'll be easier if you just confess.
All right then. I did it. I didn't want to kill him. I just couldn't help myself. He walks around like a lord with his purse full, and I've got nothing to eat. You don't really have to tell anyone, do you? And you won't regret it.
No. You just completely insulted me and, you know, kind of like well convinced that I've done this and that, you know? Now that I have proven that you're the one who killed him, you're like trying to blackmail me. So I feel like it's probably still the smartest choice to just take the money and go. But she made it personal at the start. And even if I have to kill her.
I won't take coin to cover up a murder.
Wait. So what, she's just going? Oh, then you're gonna die. No one escapes my wrath. Die already? It's fucking stupid. Even AC Odyssey is more realistic on the amount of hits someone takes to die. Like, how many times do you have to stab someone in the back? Ah, now you're dead. Alright then. So I guess that was like more of a world event, just happening a bit randomly. So what, now I have to look for the entire woods just to find some bandits? Oh dear. Peak mission design. But at least the streaming title is accurate today. I had a feeling we're gonna have to move through the woods quite a bit to find Ginger. Oh, nice. Actually hit for once. Oh, good job.
Good boy. That's my boy.
So, now I can give you some meat.
Look what I've got for you. You'll love this.
Ah yeah, so technically the meat counts as stolen, I guess. Because I wasn't officially allowed to hunt it. Yeah, no idea where the banners are supposed to be. Would be nice if you at least had like a trail of sorts, you know, that you could follow. Also makes me wonder though if it's a symbol, like why it's not in the middle of the area, but like directly over there. Just go back exactly to that location again and see if I missed anything there. But it's confusing both ways, you know, it's a very specific location. And then again, you know, it's also not in the middle. When you still have like a search radius. Also just gonna eat some here. Hey, we're so nourished. Perfect. Let's hope this was the bandits' camp or something. Hello there, Mr. Molle. Welcome in. And good day. Thank you, I do. Yeah, having a decent Friday. Been a bit of an exhausting morning, because you picked up a new fridge and had to drive all the way into the city, and was just absolute anarchy on the traffic side of things. But yeah, we did it. How's your Friday going? I'm not standing at the exact position, and I don't see any bandits here. And I mean, it's not like the forests are like super small either. Like, what are the chances of even finding these guys? Like, I've been here, and I've been down there, and I've been up here. I guess you can still go on this side. But seems like, you know, this is much more likely here. Oh, that's good to hear, Mr. Molle. Glad you're having a good one so far. Are you looking forward to the weekend? It's an Ani raid. Run!
Knock, knock.
Get to the chopper! Hello, Varot. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid, dude. And welcome in, raiders. How was the rest of the stream today? With House of Ashes? I hope it went well. Ah, I gotcha, Mr. Molle. Well, that's definitely fair. Well, I hope you enjoy your weekend regardless then. Hello again, Sunny. Yeah, I'm doing alright. You know, definitely a bit knackered from this whole trip this morning. But yeah, I wanted to also continue playing a bit more of this. Carry on with the goose chase. So now we finally found the persons that know about the witness that we were looking for. But now these guys want me to find some bandits in the woods, like somewhere. It's like this entire area, and I've already been like everywhere looking for the bandits and without any success yet. So we're definitely in the stage of a game where just goose chase here, goose chase there. I'm almost at a point where I'm like willing to look up a guide, you know, because like really nothing that guides you towards these bandits except for, you know, having the radius, of course, but I've been pretty much everywhere and I haven't seen them, so maybe it's like also time dependent, I guess. That could be. Maybe they just appear mainly during the night. But yeah, just, you know, running around, not knowing where to go exactly. Hello there, Mita. Welcome in. And yeah, doing quite well, thank you. How are you today, Amita? Oh, hell yeah, Rod, that's awesome. That you also got the exact ending you wanted to have, with only Salim surviving. And GG's on finish the game too. I wasn't too sure if you would get there today. But that's great, dude, that you know, got all the way to the end. So you were initially planning on playing the game tomorrow and today, wasn't it? Do you have like any other plans for tomorrow? Or was it really only one day? Maybe I misremembered. Yeah, it's like, at least give me like a hint so I can narrow it down. But yeah, it's a bit tricky. Playing some more Batman Arkham City. Nice, dude. So are you doing the side quest now that you finished the main story, Mita? Are you playing like any of the DLC? We check last playthrough and it took about 7 hours. Tomorrow we'll be back to Ghost of Tsushima. Very nice, dude. That's a really good length actually, you know, for the type of game that it is. Like nice and short, but packed with action. But yeah, that's cool. We're getting back to Ghost of Sushi. Ghost of Kuro Sushi. You're trying to complete all the side activities. Oh yeah. So are you going like full completionist then? Like will you be trying to do like everything? Or is it just mainly the side quests? Did I hear that Japan is more or less hating AC Shadows? They said me that they might sue the company. That's definitely news to me, to be honest. Like, I definitely heard about, you know, the supposed Japan hate, but it's been actually one of the most pre-ordered games in Japan. Like, definitely seems to have sold really well in that respective month. And there's also like a magazine which is I think funded by Sony, which also put AC Shadows on the map there, and you know, it definitely made it seem like it's been quite popular in Japan actually. Yeah, I think it's a bit tricky, you know, because there's definitely different echo chambers, and there's definitely, you know, a lot of like hate for AC Shadows. But I think some people are also like very loud in their concerns, you know, at least with some of the type they're complaining about. When it comes to like cultural appropriation and the type of stuff, you know, it's definitely interesting how that hasn't really been, you know, much of an issue with previous AC games. And of course, you know, Japanese culture is always like a special kind of like thing to display, you know, because of how proud they are of their culture and of their history. But I mean, you just have to look at Ghost of Tsushima, right? It's not like Ghost of Tsushima is particularly historically accurate, but it's a great game, and you know, people love it. And I don't know, like to me it seems like people are approaching AC Shadows because it's Ubisoft with like a different approach in terms of like what they're expecting. So yeah. But my impression is that Shadows actually got away much better than people anticipated, and that many people really enjoy playing it. Not like it's, you know, a game that is considered to be like a masterpiece, probably far from it. But you know, that seems like good enough fun to spend, you know, lots of hours with. So me personally, I'm looking forward to play AC Shadows, but I also don't have like the highest expectations, you know. I know that it's Ubisoft Quebec behind it, and there's certain things I'm just like kind of expecting from them. From what I've seen, you know, will apply again to Shadows. So I don't expect to really love the game in that sense, you know, like as much as I maybe love others, but I will still try to keep open to it, you know, like I'm not gonna judge about it until I've seen like a lot of it or, you know, played lots of it. And so far I've been also like trying to stay away from any major spoilers or, you know, what really happens in the game. But yeah, definitely gonna play it once we get to that year in the historic order run, which is still gonna be like another 170 years or so from this game. What was funny, cause funny of course, in the order to get the characters to where they die, you have to make sure they survive for a very long time. In fact, the first character out of the main ones you control who died, it happens towards the end, and then the others, except Salem, died in the final chapter. That would definitely make it a bit more intense as well, I reckon. You know, not really being able to check that off the lists and, you know, really timing it well and making sure that all the choices matter, you know, the way they're supposed to, all the way until the end and the final chapter, to ensure they actually die. Was it like difficult to plan out, or was it like pretty straightforward? Most of the side quests and the Riddler trophies. Well, you got my respect, Mita, because I didn't do many of the Riddler trophies myself, and I know how time-consuming they can be from watching Rod play the games in full completion. They said that the history is made a mockery of. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are, you know, some Japanese who probably feel that way about it. And, you know, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. And what I've seen of the game so far yet, I'm not sure why I think that. Like, where the game is, you know, like making a mockery of Japanese history. At least, you know, for me would be like, okay, I mean, there's like quite a lot of games set in Japan, right? And are people that vocal about them, you know? Like, you kind of have to ask yourself, like, where's it coming from? Like, of course, you know, like Assassin's Creed is known for the historical setting and one of like the biggest historical franchises. But there's always been like, you know, things in the AC games that were like completely ahistoric. Didn't really respect certain historical characters in the way of like making them villains or whatever, you know. And you definitely have to kind of like not take everything too literally, you know. It's like still very much its own kind of like science fiction based in history. I mean, there's some characters who can die earlier than that, but also you had to make sure you didn't have someone die at the expense of Salem dying too. Yeah, that's the other thing as well. Because if one person's in the situation of like dying and Salem is right next to them, will probably not exactly increase his chance of survival. You know, of Shadows, they took offense if there was a black slave in the story. They mean that it's not historically accurate. Well, that's not really accurate either as a statement, right? I mean, when the whole outrage was happening, I did also look into that, you know, and the historical sources, and it is 100% confirmed that, you know, Yasuke was a real person. What people mostly argue about is kind of like his, you know, status of a samurai, but then you also have to consider that, you know, what is considered samurai has also differed quite a bit. And the modern interpretation of samurai is also, you know, different, for example, to like how it is in Ghost of Tsushima, where samurai wasn't even a term yet either. So I can definitely understand the discussions about, okay, was he a samurai? I mean, he was definitely allowed to carry a weapon, you know, and all that type of stuff. So he had like a lot of privileges that other samurai, you know, did enjoy. Was he called a samurai? We don't really know. But, you know, his function within that time was very like that of a samurai, you know. But to even argue, like, if he existed, I think that's, I mean, there's enough historical sources to confirm that he did, so. Yeah, I have a feeling when people make that assumption, you know, they either haven't really read up on the historical sources, or there's maybe another agenda, you know, going on. Of like not wanting to have, you know, someone of a specific race appear in a game. And I don't know. It's definitely, you know, also really not accurate to think that even in medieval times, you know, there weren't any like people of color or something. Or that people automatically were like, you know, kind of like excluded from society. For example, if you look at the early modern age in Europe, you know, there were like people of color that hold like quite a lot of responsibility or like positions of power, even women. But it was often more connected to like having a certain amount of wealth and money, you know. Like in that time, if you had like a lot of money, then, you know, that gave you kind of like, you know, your power and influence often. And to a lot of people, it didn't really matter, you know, where you came from. So it's always a bit relative, you know, and I feel people definitely have to be careful with, you know, what is accurate and what isn't. And, you know, even if something isn't, then, you know, that being like that much of a deal breaker. Like the games are first and foremost, and we can't really expect them to be historical simulators. But at the same time, I feel there's a lot of misinformation flowing around. You know, and that he existed, that's a fact. There are 440, Jesus Christ, Amita. That's a lot. Good luck. I hope they go by fast. And that were fun, of course. But yeah, you think the 420 flags was a lot in Assassin's Creed, right? But it was a bit tricky at some points because you weren't using a guide. But having played it a few times now, there were certain things you remembered that could happen or had happened, so that helped. That's definitely true as well, having that knowledge of like previous playthroughs would definitely help, you know, planning it out and knowing what can happen if you go a certain way. So is it like similar to the Quarry, where you can't really reload much further once you made the decision? Because with the Quarry, like a lot of your choices were kind of like locked in, right? Like you didn't really have a chance to like load back a lot further, I don't think. But AC has always stood strong with a historical accuracy. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something they take pride in, you know, that they do a lot of historical research. Historical accuracy, I think that's definitely quite relative. You know, it's very noticeable to me, for example, having played AC1 recently, right? As part of the historic order run, because I did investigate a lot of the history behind the game. And I was really astounded, honestly, by how inaccurate, for example, a lot of the targets were, you know, because it was always like something that I kind of like kept hearing and even said myself often, you know, that like AC1 is so historically accurate because all the targets in the game die in that year, and you know, made under mysterious circumstances, and you know, that makes the game like quite historically accurate and stuff, you know. And it's like more than half of the targets are kind of like fictional. The other ones, well, I think at least 4 of them, 4 of the 9 are like fictional. And I think of the other ones, only 2 actually die in the year that the game takes place in. And there's even one that dies like 30 years or something later, like to actual history. And even then you have to do like a lot of research to even be sure, okay, is that even the same person, you know? Or like in AC2, you have like buildings that were put into Florence or whatever, you know, that are quite ahistorical. That didn't appear until like 200 years later or something. And the cool thing is, that's where the database comes in to play, you know, because the database is there to kind of like tell you, okay, this is like the Animus doing its thing, or, you know, this is not quite historically accurate, but this is what really happened. And that's why I think a database is so important, you know, it kind of like gives you the information that the game world can't always provide for you, because it's still the game. But in AC2 and Brotherhood, for instance, you know, we really talk openly about what buildings have actually stood there and which ones haven't. And I feel like that's where historical accuracy come into play, you know, with like having historical databases, having the museum tour style modes, and giving you a way to distinguish between, okay, this is the game, this is where we make creative decisions in favor of the game, you know, because having a game that's only historically accurate, it wouldn't really be fun, I don't think, unless you're really looking for like a historical sim. But you always have to have a balance, I guess. And for me with AC Shadows, I don't really see at a moment where there's like such a big difference to other AC games, you know, when it comes to how accurate the history is being portrayed. But yeah, it's just something, you know, I will also have to see when I actually play the game. Hello there, Ave. Welcome in. And good day. How are you doing today? And yeah, thank you. I'm definitely having a decent day so far. Playing a bit more Kingdom Come Deliverance. We're just running around currently and looking for some bandits. Actually makes you wonder, does time progress? But I'm in the menu. Probably not. Also, give me just 1 second. Alright, I'm back. Did he, Mr. Modder, the Prime Minister? Well, I wonder if the Prime Minister played the game. Yeah, exactly, Rod. You know, that's like another thing, you know, the Westerns and the dudes. And I mean, that's again, you know, making that connection to Japan, you know, with Japanese movies like the samurai movies. That's, of course, something that also had deep roots in that sort of media. And the samurai movies itself are romanticization of, you know, kind of like dueling culture. Like, yes, a lot of the warriors trained in Japan, they were very proficient in one-to-one duels, you know, but that doesn't mean they only like fought honorably, like face to face, and didn't use any kind of like dirty tricks or, you know, whatever. So, yeah, that's definitely more of a, you know, cinematic kind of like element, if you will, you know. This, at least the dueling culture on, you know, that's kind of like level. Oh, nice meter. So almost halfway through then. 200 down, another 240 to go. Ah, right, yeah, the quarry had the rewind feature. But that one was limited, wasn't it? Like, I don't think you had like endless amounts of rewinds per playthrough. In Dark Pictures, as soon as something goes wrong, you can go back to the main menu, then choose continue, and it will take you back to the start of the most recent checkpoint. Or if you want to redo the whole chapter, you can go into the scene selection and choose the one you're up to. That's really good that you can. Because if you're doing a playthrough like that, you know, it would be quite frustrating if it would actually lock you out of choosing a certain path. After today and most of the week has been very dreading and tiring, but you're doing pretty good right now, as it's the weekend. Also got to work a bit early today, which was nice. Right now trying to finish the replay of The Last of Us 1, so you can continue on to part 2. Hell yeah, dude. Well, definitely hope you enjoy the, you know, time off work now. I definitely will as well. I definitely feel you on, you know, the week being a bit dreading and tiring. I definitely look forward to like having a good sleep in over weekend too, and just, you know, taking it easy. Well, I still have to install the new fridge that we've picked up this morning, but that's gonna be much less of a hassle than the whole tour over there. But I was going to ask actually how your Witcher playthrough is coming along, like how far with Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine you might have been at this point. But yeah, that's the advantage of not playing, you know, the same type of game, you know, side by side. Because yeah, if you have like, you know, like a very similar open world type of game and you play like two of them, it can be very easy to like mix up buttons for like attacking or crouching and talking to people and this, that kind of stuff. You had 3 rewinds, just like 3 lives in old school games. Well, yeah, like in Mario games, for instance, right? I remember like a really old Kirby game on the Game Boy that I played. That one also had 3 lives, I believe. It's like any profession or way of living. Not everyone does things above board. There's always going to be those who do bad things, no matter what they do for a living. That's true as well. The human factor. Always good for a bit of chaos and unexpected things. Modern members of Japan's government brought up Ubisoft's recently released AC Shadows in Parliament, saying some of the game's contents are disrespectful to Japan's culture and heritage. Officials specifically point out how players can destroy sacred religious shrines within the game and how villagers within these shrines can be slaughtered by players. Ah, right. Yeah, I think that's an older headline or like article, isn't it? Because that's something that definitely patched out, like even before release of a game, that you could destroy shrines. And it's more something that was like accidental either way, right? Like in Shadows, you know, one of the core mechanics that they added, which was supposed to be kind of like innovative, that, you know, allowed people, of course, to destroy like literally anything in the game. And I mean, you know, people who want to prove that's disrespectful, they went out of their way to destroy the shrines and record it and then, you know, blame Ubisoft for it. And to me, it seems like, okay, why would you destroy a shrine? Like, it's just like in real life. Like, of course, you have the option to destroy a shrine. Are you gonna do it? Yeah, no. You know, especially if you know about the culture. So, yeah, I mean, probably good that they patch it out, you know, not to piss off some people, but at the same time, it's like, you also have the choice to kill, like, the entire, you know, like, all the guards in a city, you know? Wouldn't you say that's, like, more morally disrespectful than destroying a shrine to take the lives of so many people? You know, just like as a counter-argument, you know? Like, you have a choice to do that, but that's up to you as a player, right? And I feel like most people wouldn't go up to a shrine and be like, hey, let me just destroy all of this. Except, you know, if it's just for the chaotic factor. But, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't share that same sentiment. Like, I've been definitely critical of things like Ubisoft's marketing of like Yasuke, you know, when he's like standing in front of like a destroyed Torii gate. You know, that's like one of the posters they released, I think. Or like for one of the figures they were selling. And that's just a clear symbol of like, okay, they really don't understand the importance of Torii gates in the context of the atomic bombing, you know. Because the destroyed Torii gates are kind of like something that, you know, reminds the Japanese of that particular time and is kind of like very disrespectful to showcase. Even, you know, especially if you market it for the game. Ubisoft thinking, you know, like it's a really cool mechanic with the destruction. That's really coming from like a, you know, they definitely didn't do enough research apparently perspective. And, you know, that I can definitely understand. But, you know, if Ubisoft is actively, like, you know, marketing that aspect of the game in a very disrespectful manner. But I still believe, you know, like you as a player, you have, you make choices in the game. And if you go up to a shrine and you want to destroy it, like, that's your choice. Maybe it would be better if there was, like, a consequence, you know? Like, if... I think Shadows has like a reputation system or like can be hunted or something, you know. There's also the desynchronization feature. I know it's a crazy concept, right? But when you killed innocents in AC games, you know, you actually got desynchronized. Or if you killed like innocent animals, you could apply the same to shrines. Like allow you to destroy the shrines. But you get desynchronized, you know, it's like such an easy fix, I feel. To kind of like, you know, address that. Because, yeah, like, surely now it wouldn't have run around and destroyed shrines, and Yasuke probably not either. So just make it like a desynchronization. You know, if you do it like too much. But, yeah, I guess that's something you have to criticize Ubisoft for. At least when it seems like they haven't really thought this through all the way. And I feel like that was the case with many aspects of Shadows, where it didn't really seem like they fundamentally understood some core concepts, at least some of the main developers. When you looked at like interviews, you know, one thing that also struck me as quite odd was how they said that Naoi and Yasuke, you know, being samurai and shinobi, were like different social classes. Whereas being a shinobi was more like an occupation people had independent of your class. You know, like a samurai could very well become a shinobi. Like if you were part of a samurai class, you could decide to be a shinobi. It wasn't like necessarily, you know, something that distinguishes yourself. And when they say those kind of things in interviews, you know, it doesn't really seem like, you know, I understood that side of thing. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of legit critique you can make of the game, but I feel like a lot of it is also hating for the sake of it. To me, it seems like. Sorry about the really long-winded answers, but yeah, just something that kind of like was on my mind for a long time. You know, kind of like the whole discourse about the game, and what kind of annoys me that there's like so much like only positive or only negative. You know, like some people just hating for the sake of it, and I don't know. I feel like it's really important to kind of like look at pro and cons and kind of like you know, analyze the game, not just generally speaking, but look at actual elements. And I have a feeling that there's a lot of things that Shadows actually has done quite well in portraying. No worries, Ave. Thank you for the lurk, and I hope The Last of Us goes well. Best of luck with it. Rod, Kirby was cool. You really like the one on the Super Nintendo called Kirby's Fun Pack. Because you got quite a few games in one, including some mini games too. Ah, that's good. I gotta remember that one. Because, well, I'm gonna talk more about it once it's someone's birthday. But yeah, I've been preparing something in connection to, you know, both types of games. But yeah, that's definitely a game I'm gonna keep in mind. You know, that also includes like multiple games into one. They patched in an update. Ah, okay. Yeah, but you know, it's definitely not something that I guess would be considered a current issue. You know. So yeah, I mean, I would be interested in hearing, you know, if there's like any update in that regard, like if you know, Japan's government has kind of like made a statement about what they think about them, you know, not allowing people to do it anymore. Because, you know, they voiced a critique, obviously, and it got addressed in the game, so from their perspective, that should be a good thing, right? It doesn't have a reputation system, but it does have some strong guards. I see. So guards that will actually like hunt you, like similar to the mercenaries, or like the very strong guards in Mirage. Rod, do you think they were concerned that some people would be inspired to do it in real life, which you can understand? At the same time, though the same arguments get used against violence in games, violent games will make people commit violence, but whether they were inspired or not, it's their fault they chose to do it, not the game's fault. Exactly, you know? Like, it's very easy to blame a media, you know, or like a book, a movie, a game, for inspiring people to do certain actions. And yeah, you know, movies, games, books, they can be inspiring, positive and negative. Also, you know, seeing negative things in games, they can also like, or in other media, they can also like not get you to do the same things, but more like, you know, act as like a bad example, you know. like being something you can learn about, and taking that into your own life lessons, for instance, you know, like there's a lot of potential also on the positive aspect, of course, as well. And it's really like up to the people, you know, what they take out of the media. And, you know, it's also like with, you know, having internet access or being on social media or whatever, you know, like, or using AI, you know, like everything has potential, positive and negative. What's much more important is how people actually interact with those medias, you know, like that's the thing. But just blaming something on like, you see violence there, you know, that's why it became violent, is like way too easy. As probably something that actually happened in real life to a person, you know, it even brought them to a place in their life where they consider to, you know, harm others. But, you know, can't talk about that, of course. You know, it's like the bad games. But yeah, similar to games and in real life, you know, people have their own choices to make. Used to draw Kirby as a kid because it was simple enough for you. That's really cool. And yeah, I definitely feel that. I also wasn't, you know, very good at like drawing or painting. So if I had like something I could like copy, you know, or like knew how it looked like, you know, by looking at it, then I definitely liked kind of like copying. Like for example, what I used to do is like we had a big poster with like all 150 original Pokemon from a you know, blue and red generation, and I used to like just copy my favorite Pokemon, and the ones that were like easier. But yeah, it definitely made it easier, and I also definitely did stick to, you know, more easier shapes as well. Like if I tried to, you know, copy a Pokemon that actually had like more complex kind of like bodies and faces, then mine tended to look quite disproportional. Don't know if that would classify as backseating. You mean that, like revealing or like spoiler that, you know, like what those cards are? I mean, that's fine, you don't have to tell me. But, yeah, I mean, even if it wasn't like a reputation system in that sense, you know, they still could have went with a whole desynchronization, you know? But something I always liked, you know, with like Ezio and the likes, how it warned you when you've done an action that the character definitely didn't do. Yeah, they really could have done the same with the shrines, you know, and I don't think anyone would, or most people at least, wouldn't take quite as much of an issue with it. That's no worries, Amita. Thank you for being here and for joining. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and definitely catch you next time. I hope you have a good stream as well if you're streaming. And for those of you that haven't checked out Amita's channel yet, there's a shout out in chat. He's currently playing through The Witcher Enhanced Edition, so the very first game. And the Witcher series is also one of his favorite game series as well, especially the third game. And yeah, he's playing that. He's also been playing Red Dead Redemption 1 with his first time ever. And yeah, he's a really good streamer. Playing lots of great games, so if you want to check him out, then follow that link in chat. That's a lot in one picture. Yeah, it was a pretty big poster as well. Like, definitely over a meter, like, tall. But yeah, was definitely really cool as a kid, you know, like being into Pokemon and stuff. Having like a way to, you know, see them at all times, because internet access wasn't quite given at that point yet. Hello there, Lucinda. Or should I say, Ada? How's the day going? I hope you're having a good one. And yeah, Kingdom Come is going nowhere. I've done like pretty much zero progress today so far. Well, like a little bit, I guess. But yeah, we've just been like, you know, getting back to Rattay and like sleeping and taking care of a couple things. Like taking care of Henry's, you know, stats basically. And then I went back to look for Ginger, and we talked to Captain Bernard, I guess, to kind of like recap our investigation process with the massacre of Neuhof. But yeah, just looking for the charcoal burners that actually told me about Ginger took quite a long time, and now I have to find some bandits for said charcoal burners. But they're like hiding somewhere in the woods here, and I still haven't found them. So yeah, it's like kind of like being on a goose chase right now and just looking everywhere. And yeah, right now we've just been like a lot of chatting, like a lot about AC shadows and the likes. So yeah, honestly, I haven't really done much progress yet today. No worries, Molle. Hope you have a good one. Thank you so much for being here and for joining. And thank you. It's gonna be a relatively short one today, but looking forward to see if we can eventually find who we're looking for. Catch you next time, Mr. Molle. Remember this as well? Yeah, it's a bit tricky. I do wonder if they say anything about when the bandits appear, but I don't think so. They're lurking around, yeah. I mean, maybe it's really like closer to the location here. You're going okay? It's been a steady morning at work, but nothing too crazy. Busy enough to get a call as soon as you try to watch the stream. That's definitely fair as well. I'm glad that it's, you know, been like a decent day so far. Has your coworker caught off today again, or is he back at it as well? Or is he just completely gone now for the next 2 weeks until he like fully leaves? I mean, that's fair, Lucinda. You know, if you need a break, I'm gonna be on for at least another hour today. Maybe a bit longer, but probably not that much. If you wanna like, you know, time your break accordingly. Where are these bandits? Like, I'm almost ready to look at the guide. And I usually, you know, really don't like looking at guides on my first time playing a game. Unless I'm like, you know, doing a 100% run or something. Like, there's definitely a certain satisfaction that I get from, you know, solving things my own. But, yeah, this is like, I looked everywhere. So where are the bandits? Like, the only bandit I found in that sense would be the woman that killed the guard, but we did take care of her, and clearly she wasn't one of the bandits, so I'm mildly confused to say the least. He's back today, but he's not 100% well. He's dealing with it. Ah, okay. That really sucks as well, that, you know, he's not feeling that good. Ah, okay, you get a 1 hour lunch. Well, that's perfect then. Yeah, usually I just take like a good half hour of a break for my work. Because that's the only one I'm like legally required to take, I guess. Like every 6 hours you have to take like half an hour break. But because I'm working out of a home office, you know, I don't mind not having a 1 hour break because you can still, you know, catch a break here and then sometimes. But for example, on Levy's work, I think they are required to take a 1 hour full break or something. So it really depends sometimes. One of the other techs are in bereavement until Wednesday now. What's bereavement again? Sorry, I'm not sure I actually heard that word before. Or maybe I did, but I definitely don't remember what it means. Is it like stay away from work type of thing? You're required to take at least 30 minutes, but you're allowed 1 hour. You take a full hour for your sanity. That's fair, you know. Like sometimes you definitely need that amount of break. Also reset your brain a bit and, you know. It's also like way less stressful when you don't feel quiet on the clock during your break. It's when someone close father-in-law passed away, so it's 3-day paid days off. Ah, I see. Well, it's really, really unfortunate. Sorry to hear. I mean, either way, right? Like, for them personally, but also for you guys on, you know, work with everything that's happening. But it's good that, you know, there's something like this in the system. We're actually allowed to have some days to grieve and, you know, take care of everything. Okay, I'm gonna have a look at the guide because I just can't be asked. You know, I've been like looking everywhere and they're just not to be found. And I wanna do at least, you know, a little bit of progress today, so let me have a look. It's kind of funny, like, I just, you know, Googled ginger in and then it just auto-completed with Pico Bandit's location being like the first result, pretty much. Which gives you a good indication of like how well searched that, you know, combination of words is. Okay, so I guess I found the camp of them, you know, that's what I kind of like assumed earlier. You know, if this has been the camp over here, I've been there, I stole from them, and then was like, hey, maybe this is the bandits camp. And I was of course also considering, you know, maybe it's really that they only appear during the night. And it seems that is the case. So if we go to the camp, and we sleep there to make it nighttime, they should probably spawn. But I think it's a bit annoying, you know, because I feel like that's something the game could just outright tell you. You know, it's like, they only appear at night. Because, I guess, you know, yeah, maybe they only have that location at night, you know, but they still should be NPCs that exist in the open world, even during the day. And they should be able to be found during the day, in my opinion. Like, if they're not at the camp, that's fine, but they should be somewhere. I mean, maybe they are, and I just, you know, literally haven't seen them, but... I'm just gonna, sleep here, I guess. And wait. Hopefully they're gonna appear. Just one thing, though. I should probably have a save. Before we do this, because we're gonna get into combat, and I haven't done combat in like super long. Hello there, thank you so much for a follow. And welcome in. The Benzina.
Greetings, my good man. May I ask you a question?
Ask first, then I'll ask you something.
Really? Good then. We're looking for Ginger, a stable boy at a nearby stud farm. Have you seen him anywhere?
I was just about to ask you two the same thing. I'm looking for him too.
Then it's a pity neither of us have found him yet.
Thank heavens I've found you, though. I imagine you two might be able to tell me something about Neuhof. Hmm?
I see. Well, we can give you a little demonstration of what happened there.
Bitch, please. What the fuck?
God.
Oh, what the... Jesus Christ, these guys are strong.
You know how this one ends. Don't tell it. God damn!
Stop cornering me. Fuck. Bleeding. Yeah, I'm just getting my ass kicked here. Hello there, Danny. Welcome in. Hello, friend. How is you doings? I'm doings fine. Is that the infamous German English speaking skills? How's it going, Danny? Hope you're having a good day. And thank you so much for resubbing with Prime for 47 months. Jeez, almost 4 years. And yeah, I'm doing quite well. Bit knackered and tired from this week, to be honest, but yeah, I'm glad it's the weekend now. And of course, apart from like dying just now. You're a bit tired because you came back from Japan yesterday. Ooh, hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. How did you like it? I hope you had a good time in Japan. But yeah, that's understandable. I reckon the jet lag is really bad with that kind of distance. I remember the first 2 days after returning from the United States after my trip there. I was also kind of like feeling a bit odd with my biorhythm. To be bluntly honest, you fall in love with Japan. I don't blame you, dude. But that's cool. So was it your first time visiting? But yeah, that's really nice. I'm glad you enjoyed it so much. It's definitely cool when you go to a place, you know, that's like so different to where you live, and you just don't feel like right at home. Thinking about going back during the 4th season this year? Hell yeah, dude. It's gonna be interesting too, you know, like a completely different season, like how everything looks then and feels like. So, have you been to like Tokyo, or have you been to like another city, or like more of a countryside? But yeah, first time, that's cool. Yeah, Levi and I, we've just also done a trip, but not quite as far away though. We went to Ireland recently, like a month ago. And that was also really, really cool. Like, I've never been to like England or Ireland proper before. So like really drove around the coastlines and, you know, looked at all kinds of different cities and countrysides, which was really cool to see. Welcome back, Lucinda. Yeah, so we found the bandits, but as you can see, game over. Playthrough is done. It's time to play AC2 now. You've experienced the Sakura season now and wanna see the 4th season next. You've been actually to lots of places, started in Tokyo, went up north to Morioka, then Osaka, Hiroshima, Kumamoto, and then slowly back to Tokyo through Matsuyama, Nagoya, Kofu, and Tokyo then. That's really cool. But you got to see so much of the country as well. That's a Ratatouille desynchronization, isn't it? But that's really funny, you know, because that's pretty much what Levi and I have done with Ireland as well, you know. We started in Dublin and then we kind of like drove around the country in like a circle all the way back to Dublin again. And that's kind of funny that you've pretty much been doing the same in Japan. But it's a good way to travel, you know. You kind of like have still the same starting and ending position of like the travel, and you get to see a lot of country. But yeah, I'm definitely a bit jealous, you know, like seeing Japan. I've never been that far east. Let's go game over screen since you died in combat this time. Is this image the same no matter what you died doing? That's a good question.
Requiescat in pace.
Requiescat in pace. I should say that every time you die in this game. Now this has only been our 4th death so far, so I'm not too sure honestly. I would believe that it's the same no matter how you die, but I couldn't really tell you, to be honest. But I'm gonna pay some extra attention the next time we die to something that isn't combat related. We could, of course, you know, just try to die from 4 damage or something. And, you know, use that as like a way of knowing, because that should technically give us a different death screen, right? Or maybe we could drown ourselves. I actually don't think there's that many like leap of fail opportunities in this game yet, because, I mean, yeah, there are hills, but I haven't really found that many like steep drops yet. Yeah, Island was also beautiful. It definitely is as green as they say. And that was like early March, either. But yeah, it was really nice. Like Dublin is a really interesting city. And yeah, also like seeing so much of the countryside. And we've also been to like a really ancient kind of like settlement next to the lake called Loch Gur, with like megalithic tombs, and there was also like the biggest stone circle in all of Ireland as well. It was really cool to see that in person. But it's really interesting, you know, because like being the biggest stone circle in Ireland, you would think it's like a bit of a touristic attraction or something. Like Levi and I were pretty much the only ones there, and like a local that played a steel drum, which is kind of like also a typical like Celtic instrument. It produces like very soft kind of like noises, but sounds really beautiful. But yeah, it's definitely not like Stonehenge or something. It was the first time in a proper Asian country as well, if you don't count Turkey as an Asian country. Yeah, I guess Turkey is definitely a special place geographically and historically. Where it's definitely having like lots of European and Asian influences. But yeah, I definitely get what you mean. The furthest east I've been is Romania. Yeah, that's definitely the furthest east I've been. You think it tells you different things the one time you bled to death? That's true. It does definitely tell you the reason you died for. But yeah, it makes me wonder if, like what Rod said, if the image actually changes, depending how you die. But yeah, there's definitely ways to find out. Could go back to Scarlets. Easy way to die. I'm just gonna stand in the flames. And then be like, Malaka, I'm on fucking fire. You have died to fire. Romania is great as well, though. Romania was really like beautiful as well, like the countryside and the nature. Unfortunately, I also saw like some really bad living conditions for many people. But I think since I visited, which is like a long time ago now, it's like over 15 years actually that I've been there. I think the country has actually changed for the better in many ways. Yeah, no worries, Danny. Thank you so much for dropping by and also for resubbing. And I really hope that you know, you have a good return from Japan with like, you know, all the new impressions that you've got, and that you also get some good rest on the weekend. And yeah, best of luck also for chores. That's another thing, right? When you return from like a travel, like quite a bit of stuff that has to be taken care of sometimes. Yeah, best of luck with the chores. It's like, best of luck washing the dishes. Hope you don't cut yourself.
What was that?
Ah ja, there they are. Just gonna take them.
You'll get what for. Bring it on!
Fucking hell. It's annoying, but there's like two of them.
Is that the best you can do.
Fucking hell.
You call that combat? You're dead.
What was that? What the fuck? He's holding me, the other guy is like hitting me or what?
Bring it on! Cunt!
Simple but effective insult. Oh, that's another death.
Requiescat in pace.
Requiescat in pace.
A letter?
A letter? For me? For the mice?
Take my sugar. Take anything you like.
What does it say? Take my sugar. Hello there, the mice. Welcome, dude.
Your limbs are lasting. You do not know corruption.
Dude, the amount of times I played this game and thought of your playthrough and you playing it. Because you're definitely the one I watched the most play this game, I think. I did also watch Lucinda play quite a bit of it. But yeah, how's it going, the mice? Welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. Are you feeling quite hungry today? Yeah, so one-on-one fights have been alright, I guess. Like, not ideal, but 1 versus 2, that stuff is hard.
Who's there? You call that combat?
Murderous, greedy Nekatiadit.
Yeah, these guys are. Fucking hell.
Bring it on! Come here.
What? This is fucking annoying. Oh, they hold me, the other guy just...
Come on!
What? What was that? I have no idea what just happened. It's like my character auto ran towards them and just died. Like, I didn't even move forward. Like, I moved backwards. And all of a sudden, like, Henry was jumping forward between them. It's like, what? As you can see, I was just like trying to gain distance, right? Like going back and back. So I can keep them at like side. It was really irritating. Also like a bear charging me from behind to push me into them. Or something like that. Oh dear. I feel like we're gonna die a couple more times here before I get this done. Demise, dude, thank you also so much for the resub with Prime with 45 months. Thank you so much, dude. I hope you've been well. You're doing good. Great to see you playing this. You have been lurking around in previous streams. Other than these deaths, how are you enjoying it? I'm definitely enjoying it quite a bit. I like the setting a lot. You know, there's not like that many games set in this particular region during that particular time. So I really appreciate that, and also how much effort they put into, you know, all kinds of details. Really like the art style as well. And the game looks gorgeous, honestly, like the environments. I'm kind of glad they went with the Crytek engine. Yeah, honestly, I've been spending most of my time in this game running around talking to people and reading the database. Because I want to read like the entire codex in the game, and the game threw a lot of entry pages at you at the start of the game. So I've been kind of like spending lots of time catching up with that too. But yeah, I quite like the game so far. It hasn't really triggered the, you know, kind of like reward synapses yet in RPGs that I usually have, you know, where it's like, oh, loot, gotta get this or gotta level up that, you know. It's been definitely more on the immersive side, I guess, in that regard, and I've also not been, you know, that good yet, which will probably also add to the fun when it kind of like feel like you can decimate everyone. But yeah, it's definitely a learning process, and I've been, you know, overall enjoying the game for sure. But yeah, there's been also like a few glitches and issues happening, though, you know, that could definitely take the fun out of it sometimes. Yeah, saw some combat in the second game and it looked really fun, like a good continuation of this. And it also includes firearms this time around, doesn't it? Like, you know, proper like guns and stuff, which is really cool to see. But yeah, I haven't actually, you know, had that many battles yet in combat, so it still feels like being thrown into the cold water a little bit.
What's that? Gone weak at the knees, have you? You call that combat? I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You get what for? Bring it on!
Fuck off.
Gone weak at the knees, have you?
How tanky are these guys? Okay, one is down. Nice.
God.
Let's go.
I'm going to enjoy this. Is that all you've got?
Yes, we did it.
Dear God.
Mercy kill.
Getter.
With the dog being super happy and jolly right next to us. Okay, that's probably way too much and I can't carry out of it, but I also have my horse so I can like store a bit, right? But yeah, I feel like waiting, like being more defensive and waiting for Master Strike timings is probably the easiest to do this at this point. At least that seemed to be, you know, like good approach here, dealing with more guys. Okay, our health is quite low. Would I get health back again? Was it a marigold decoction? I think it might have been. Nope. It was something different. Crossbows and handguns. The crossbow also looked really good in the trailers that I've seen of the second game. Very fun to use. Certainly more fun than the bow in this game. At least early on, you know, like the bow is so tricky to aim with. Yeah, Matt was not doing anything, was he? Couldn't really be bothered. Thank you, Demise and Lucinda for the GGs. High precision, get it? Yeah, it feels good getting those bandits dealt with, especially after dying 3 times. Yeah, let's go back. So, I reckon I have some wounds, right? I should probably apply some bandages. Ah, I'm not bleeding. So that's only for bleeding then. Fair enough. Oh yeah, the burger sword actually deals quite a bit more damage, it seems. I should probably need some boots that aren't actually destroyed here. Wait, a silver ring? So I can display silver ring, but it doesn't give me like any stat benefit. It actually is negative for my conspicuousness, isn't it? Ah, the skull cap. Well, that could be quite fitting with the type of armor I'm using here. And some boots that aren't actually destroyed. Okay. Let's call the horse. And put some stuff into the horse storage, I guess. Does it somewhere tell me like what my current horse storage is? Or do I have to go to the sidekick tab? Would be good to have it here in this menu, honestly. Oh yeah, so I can carry 192 weight. So currently about halfway. That's true, yeah. A shear would be quite good. I haven't unfortunately found one yet in the open world, but that would definitely be helpful. Yeah, the bow. Like, I could stand right in front of a rabbit and I would still like miss. You would say wearing a ring could be an identifier for, say, a pickpocket or a lockpicker. I mean, maybe I'm just that highborn, you know, but just looking like shit. Yeah, no, that would definitely be kind of suspicious. I mean, no, I would never steal anything, anywhere. Especially not in connection to certain millers. Indeed. Pebbles and mud. What a combination. But I'm really glad we actually rescued the dog and got him to be our companion. Even if he didn't really do much in that fight just now. He did definitely help us previously. You mean, you know, the thief was wearing a ring, not necessarily that rings mean you are a thief. That's true. I mean, that's good enough, you know, that's all you can ask for sometimes. Just a good growl, you know, hoping that's enough to scare the bandits away. So right now in the story we are past the Neuhof massacre. You know, it's the location here in the east. Over there. You kind of go there with Captain Bernard and you witness kind of like a massacre that happened there from bandits. And the bandits I just killed are the ones that did the massacre over there. And, or at least part of the bandits, I guess. And we're looking for Ginger. He's the dude who kind of like witnessed the attack but didn't want to tell us anything. So yeah, we're going back now to these guys. And hope that they would finally tell us what, or where Ginger is and what his role was in all of this. But yeah, progress-wise, I think this is mission 9 out of 29 or so. So we're pretty much like 1/3 for the main story at this point. Witness, you mean that thing that you were supposed to be there for? Also everyone in the village said. Right. It's like, where have you been, Henry? Did you participate in the Red Tay tourney? Is there like anything you think is more important than Neuhof? Ah, another camp. Well, let's have a look here. there you are.
It's not my fault. There was nothing I could have done to help. I was frozen solid. I couldn't even open my mouth. I couldn't even get a peep out. They would have killed me if I'd said anything. I couldn't stop what happened. I'm not to blame.
You talk too much, dude. Imagine if I would just pickpocket from him here.
Jesus, you've led me a merry dance.
What do you want from me?
I want to ask you a couple of questions. Why did you run off like that? Where are your cronies? And why did you kill that bandit?
What?
Right, one thing at a time.
Oh, at least you found him.
Why did you run off in such a hurry?
Because I was afraid they'd come back and kill me.
Who?
Those bandits, of course.
To get revenge on you for killing their mate?
Killing? Me? I never killed anyone. God is my witness.
I'm looking for your friends. Where are they?
The charcoal burners? They're over at the...
To hell with the charcoal burners. Where are your bandit mates?
They're not my mates. They nearly killed me. I recognized one of them, so I thought they'd come back and...
Recognized? Who was it? Talk!
I don't know his name, only that he's from Ushitz and he has a limp.
Limp, huh?
What can you tell me about him? How do you know him?
I saw him a few times in the tavern in Ushitz, playing dice and boozing.
And?
I know he lives in a house on the edge of the village, but that's all I know. I never talked to him.
Why did you kill that bandit?
What? Bandit? I never killed anyone.
This is yours, isn't it? I pulled it from the belly of a dead bandit near the stud farm.
That is mine, but I didn't stab him. That fellow took it from me.
What fellow?
I don't know his name, but he's from Ushitz, and he has a limp.
He limps and he's from Ushitz. That's not much to go on, but I suppose it'll have to do.
It's all I know. I never talked to him.
You get so tired of hearing that. Yeah, there's just some phrases in the game. But, you know, you just end up hearing so many times. Like the whole Rattay Tawny thing, you know, I have that way many times, or way more many times than the whole, like, I feel quite hungry. Like, even when I go to sleep in the miller's house, it's like, don't you want to bet on the Rattay Tawny?
And now tell me exactly what happened. And don't leave anything out.
That's quite a long story.
I want to hear it. I feel quite hungry. I love how that became a soundbit on your channel, Demise. We just immortalized Henry and his hunger. It's really funny because the other day I saw like an interview of Henry's voice actor, and he kind of like talked a bit about the game and you know, that he didn't actually play it, but I think one of his nephews or so did, and it was really cool for his nephew to kind of like see him in the game. But he also said how basically he was never fucking hungry when he did that voice line. Now that's acting, you know. Saying that you're hungry if you aren't. But it's kind of funny how he kind of like addressed that whole meme. It's the new redacted map. You have joined the Rattay redacted. Exactly. Like, honestly, that's probably the most heard, you know, phrase yet in this game. Apart from Henry talking about what happened in Scarlet's, you know, to like every NPC in the game. It's like, what's your story? Yeah, sure, I haven't just, you know, told it 30 times. I really like his performance. I wasn't actually sure at first, you know, where he came from with his accent, you know. in this game. Like, I was actually curious if he was from, you know, like maybe if a general area of Czech or Germany or something. But he's actually a British voice actor, isn't he? But yeah, I do like his performance on Henry. Yes, indeed. But yeah, I want to hear the entire story. The more details we know, the better.
Don't worry, I won't get bored.
All right. I woke up in the middle of the night because I needed to go for a piss. So I went out into the dark, same as usual, only there was something there that shouldn't have been. At first I thought it was just a trick of the light, but it wasn't. Then it was too late. They went past and I thought they must be horse thieves. I would have yelled, only I was afraid they'd kill me. So I waited until they were out of sight and I started to sneak away, but then...
Then the slaughtering started.
Yes. I thought they'd steal the horses and ride off. That would be bad enough, but then all the killing started and flames everywhere. It was terrible, like hell itself.
And then?
It seemed some of them didn't like it either. They started squabbling among themselves, and some of them started running back where they came from, right towards me. And I had that thing in my hand, the hoof pick.
So you stabbed the first one in the belly?
No. He ran right into me. He was running fast for a fellow with a limp. He pushed me aside and I fell on the ground. Then he told me I'd better lie low if I valued my life. And he ran off with the others. I did what he said and hid. Then the rest of the gang ran past.
And then?
Then I waited in case that limping one from Ujits came back. I didn't dare come out until I was sure. I think it was almost light.
What about the others? Was there anything you noticed about them?
I don't know. There might have been maybe 8 of them, and 2 of them were really big. That's all I can remember.
Do you know what they argued about?
I didn't hear everything, but I reckon some of them were only there to steal and wanted no part in the killing.
That sounds terrible. I know exactly how you feel.
If only I yelled. Maybe they...
If you had, you'd most likely be dead. It probably wouldn't have done any good anyway.
But still...
There was nothing you could do. That's all.
When Henry said that's all, it kind of sounded like asshole. Like he was insulting Ginger there. But no, Ginger doesn't really... Like, it's definitely unfortunate that Ginger felt he needed to hide from this, you know. Of course, that information would have definitely helped, regardless. Tell me everything that happened. Is there more?
And now tell me exactly what happened. And don't leave anything out.
That's quite a long story.
You don't have to tell me everything, just who they were and where they went.
I only recognized one of them, a fellow from Ujits with a limp. He lives in a house on the edge of the village, but he's in the tavern there whenever he has the coin.
What else do you know?
Nothing. That's all.
And I can still trigger it. It's like, tell me again, everything that's happened. Seems to be a bug, isn't it? That it isn't like grayed out. Or so like, you know, like if I trigger it again, is he gonna tell me new detail?
Now tell me, and don't leave.
That's...
Wait, now it just says that's a long story, or did it just skip all of it?
And don't...
That's quite a long story.
Yeah, now it just says that's a long story. Fair enough. Now it's grayed out. Bit of a weird decision, isn't it? Like dialogue tree-wise. But no matter.
I've heard everything I need to hear, so I'll leave you be.
Wait! What about me? Won't you help me out?
Perhaps I could. What would you like?
I'd like to go back to the stud farm, but those cutthroats who want to kill me are still around. Will you help me?
They're out of the way. I ran into them on my travels.
Really? That's great, but...
What?
I'm afraid to go back to the farm. I ran away, and God knows what they'll think about it all. I don't know if they'll even want to talk to me.
Yeah, just go there and see what happens. Probably not the best idea. I'm gonna go forth, I'm gonna tell them what happened, and then you're gonna come back.
I could go and ask them if it's important to you.
Would you? You'll definitely have their respect, the way you took care of those cutthroats.
And then I'm just gonna lockpick his chest. Antagonize him, he attacks me, I have to kill him, and that totally changes the story. But yeah, no, I'm gonna try to be somewhat honorable at least. Let's go back to Neuhof. Hello Vegaslek, welcome in dude. Thank you so much for the raid. And how's it going? How was your stream today? So it's kind of funny that we found Ginger just by pure chance, right? Because going back to his guardians was supposed to give me information like where he is. But yeah, we just found him ourselves. So I wonder what dialogue they're gonna trigger. Now that they've already, you know, found him. Playing some War Hospital. What did you get up to in War Hospital today? Not the Red Tail Tourney. What will I ever do, not having participated in that one? Yeah, so we actually get health back passively, right? Interesting.
God be with you.
15 to 132 death to life ratio, I think. Didn't check at the end. I mean, that's a really good ratio. Considering you're like in a, you know, war setting. You kept out R&D, surgeons, got a lot of medic stuff, some extra nurses and engineers, and now you've moments where you twiddle thumbs. Well, that sounds good for. So how far into the game are you at this point? Like, how much is left of the game?
You don't have to worry about those bandits anymore. I've dealt with them.
Really? And I suppose I have to take your word for it.
If you want proof, I can take you to them. Maybe I should have brought you their heads.
I'll take your word for it. All right, a bargain's a bargain. Ginger is hiding out in a ruined hut not far from here. You go along the road to Ujits until you see a path to the right that leads to a small spring.
There's an overgrown path that leads from there right to where Ginger is. Keep your eyes peeled, though. You could easily miss it.
Good. Thanks for your help.
Farewell.
Oh, I was kind of hoping for a dialogue that triggers, you know, where Henry says I've already been and talked to him. It's always cool in like open world games, you know, when that's something they consider. A game that does it really well, I think, is The Witcher 3. Where you can do quests in all kinds of orders sometimes, and there's still gonna be dialogue that's kind of like considers the order that you've done quests in. Towards the end, but 10 days left. 10 days is a long time. It can really depend, right? Like how long a day is in a game. For example, days in Disco Elysium were quite long sometimes. Like I spent multiple streams on just a single day in that game. Listen, I did consider that you may have found the bandits before you found Ginger, and that he's asked you to deal with the bandits. Yeah, that's true. Oi, what, mate?
I'm going to win. Fucking hell! You gonna cry now? Giving up
What the fuck? Wow. I just attacked my dog. What are you doing, Henry? Also, my dog is supposed to help me, not stand in the way of me to attack him. Jesus. Now he ran off.
Yeah. What's the?
Get wrecked. Oh, I guess I'm just gonna take everything again and just gonna, you know, leave it on the horse. It's like free loot, and is taken from bandits even considered stealing? I guess it's not, is it? Yeah, there's actually a scarf that is considered better than what I currently have here. Let's go for that. A new hose. That's called laundering goods. Now there's no thief paper trail. Exactly. The laundering applies doubly here, considering it's a lot of clothing items. Alrighty. Where are you, horsey? But yeah, it's gonna give me plenty to sell to some vendors here. Alright. Let's move this. This is small. I really like the skullets, kind of like clothing with a color. Seem to really represent Henry well. But right now I feel like going for better stud equipment is kind of like more important. My doggo ran off. Like, unfortunately he didn't participate in the fight much, but he ran in the way of me striking, and then I accidentally hit my dog. And then the dog was like, okay, I'm out of here. But yeah, he ran between the bandits and me. And then I accidentally hit him, apparently. So he's like run off, and he's gonna come back eventually, but it's a question of when. That's the second time he ran off, actually. The first time I went into the prison for 3 days and didn't consider that, you know, the dog would have to be taken care of in the meantime. So he ran off when I was in prison for 3 days, but he came back pretty much immediately. But yeah, now that I've hit him, I don't think he's gonna come back so soon. I mean, that's worse than neglect, of course. Abusing your dog, but of course I didn't really mean to, especially if he's like part of the combat potentially, you know. the chance to accidentally hit your dog is definitely there. But it's a bit weird because it doesn't really seem like the dog, like Matt, has really participated in the fighting recently. Not sure why, because he did definitely help me at the start of the game, when I got him. Maybe it's another bug or something.
Yeah.
Indeed, yeah, you have like a Houndmaster ability. Similar to the Horsemanship. Oh, I can actually upgrade another strength skill here. Nice. Yeah, there's Horsemanship and then Houndmaster. So we're level 2 with our doggy here. When you have like different stats you can also get with the dog. And yeah, as for the horse, we can get heavy duty pony. The horse can carry more but is slower, can't be combined with a racehorse perk. The horse is faster but carries less weight. I kinda like this one, honestly. I mean, yeah, you know, getting a certain speed might be good and important. But at this point, I'm also like carrying lots of goods. Let's go for the heavy duty pony. And we can also get another... Yeah, we could get a level 8 ability even. Your attacks cause greater damage, but cost you 10% more stamina. Honestly, the Mew, to be able to carry more, that's not unimportant right now. I'm gonna get this. Because we're gonna loot quite a bit in this game.
Good evening.
I found Ginger. He begged me to ask if he can return, ma'am.
Why should I take him back? It might be his fault I had to bury my husband.
What?
Why else would he flee but guilt? The men said they didn't see him in bed. He didn't have a clean conscience because he gave those murderers a signal.
That's not true. He fled because one of the attackers recognised him and Ginger was afraid he'd come back and kill him.
Those are just excuses. He wouldn't dare come back.
But they came back the very same day. If he hadn't run, they'd have killed him and everyone else.
Why would they do that?
Why not? They'd already murdered several people, why not a few more?
And now I'm supposed to take him back? What if they come back for him and kill one of my daughters in the process?
The cutthroats who were after him have been taken care of. And the rest have no reason to return here.
And what about for revenge? I can't take him back.
I understand your concerns, but you just need to ask Sir Hanish to leave you a guard. Those bandits might be willing to take on a few stable boys, but not an armed soldier.
I'd definitely feel better if someone was here a few days to keep watch.
It can be arranged. I'm sure Sir Bernard won't object.
Good then. Let the lad come back again. Goodbye.
Nice. That's taken care of. Ginger can return.
Jesus Christ be praised.
I talked to Ginger and found out what happened.
Out with it then.
Ginger fled because he recognized one of the raiders. He was afraid they'd come back to silence him.
Well, he was right. They were asking about him. So who did he recognize?
He didn't know his name. Some fellow with a limp from Ujits.
All right. Since you've gone this far, you may as well ask around at Ujits. We've enough to do here in these parts anyway. Sir Radzik will tell you about it. He said to send you to him if you haven't already been. May the Lord watch over you.
This quest is just never gonna end, is it? It's a main story quest, so no. I meant as in like, you know, this particular quest is part of the main quest. But that's true, so it's definitely like a continuous, of course, quest that Henry's on. But it seems like we've been in this particular quest, Ginger and a Pico, I think it's called. Yeah, for quite a long time now. You know, I wonder, since the whole talking to Ginger is optional, if like talking to Radzik ends that. Can't actually save here, but I reckon we just had a save. Actually, no. This isn't that recent. Ah, I have no savior schnapps. That's why I can't save. Or maybe I should talk to Ginger first then, honestly. Because I don't want to talk to Sir Radzik and then it just finishes the quest. Since that's the only thing open right now. So let's just quickly head to Ginger again and tell him about it. Oh. Matt, welcome back. Look who returned.
That's a good boy. That's my boy.
Yeah, who's a good boy?
Look what I've got for you.
I don't know if
You'll love this.
if Henry has any food right now for Matt. Oh yeah, some hair meat. There you go.
Yeah.
He forgives you, indeed. Yeah, I'm happy he returned so quickly. But yeah, I have a feeling that's unfortunately gonna happen a few more times, you know, if there's like friendly fire between us. And he's like participating in combat and just running in front of the people that I'm attacking. I'm gonna do my best to avoid hitting him. Deer hunting spot. But deer hunting is not allowed, though, unless you're part of the nobility. Or you're hunting for the nobility. Just a hunting spot, no need to write a letter. A letter? course you can do this. There you go. You know what really sucked dying right now, because I don't have a savior schnapps, you know, and my last save is 20 minutes ago. So hopefully after talking to Ginger, it actually creates like a save.
You can return home. It was hard work to convince them, so please don't get into trouble when you go back.
Thank you. I'd like to give you something, but I've got nothing except if you're ever traveling by way of Neuhof, stop by and I'll show you something with the horses.
I mean, that's nice. We'll do that. Now we can go back and talk to Sir Radzik.
Yeah.
Listen, you're back on the clock, so you can come and go anytime, but you think you're ending when you get a chance, right? That's true, yeah. I'm gonna end probably after I talk to Sir Radzik or see if anything happens directly afterwards. So pretty soon here. Thank you so much, Lucinda, for being here and for joining us during your lunch break. And I really hope that the rest of your shift today goes well too. And that you can start into the weekend soon enough. And yeah, for those of you that haven't checked out Lucinda's channel yet, definitely recommend doing so. She's currently playing for The Last of Us Part 2, that's newly released for PC now. And is doing a narratively focused playthrough of that game, but also did it for the first Last of Us. Also a big fan of Resident Evil, Dishonored, Bioshock, and many, many more. Really great streamer. And yeah, if you want to check it out, there's a link in chat. Cheers, Lucinda. Really appreciate it. And yeah, probably catch you on the weekend. I reckon you're gonna do a stream, maybe? On like Saturday. And then Necro probably on Sunday again. If you do that schedule at least. And that's no worries of a shout out either. Saturday morning your time? Nice. Well, I'm sure I'm gonna drop by and say hello. Probably no stream for Necro this week because Sunday is Easter here and you're having family plans. Ah, right. That's really interesting. Like Easter isn't for us for another week here. But I know that Dr. Darling also mentioned that Easter was this weekend for him. Maybe that's next week. Yeah, like for us it's in another week, but Dr. Darling, you mentioned it's this weekend for you, right? Isn't it? Like over at Rods. So maybe, you know, it's also just like different time depending where you are. But yeah, for us it's gonna be another week until Christmas.
For heaven's sake, stop barking at your own shadow.
Right, yeah, it's the same here, the 20th.
God bless you. What troubles you?
My lord, I managed to find a clue to the whereabouts of the bandits.
Excellent. Bernard already told me what's been happening, but I'd like to hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
The whole story, or just the gist of it, sir?
It's up to you what you consider important.
One of the Neuhoff stable boys, a lad they called Ginger, fled from there and hid out with some charcoal burners. I have to say, there's a lot of them around. I never thought how many forges and ironworks they have to supply.
That's true, but keep to the point.
Oh, yes, sir. I had quite a job finding him. He was well hidden and with good reason. The bandits wanted to kill him because he recognised one of them.
Did he tell you what happened?
He said it wasn't one gang, but two. And one of them took fright when the slaughter started. Seems they were only interested in loot, so they quarrelled with the other lot. Then it came to a skirmish in the woods and one of them was killed. The rest of them scattered.
And did you find out where they went?
All I know is one of them is from Uzhitz. I know enough about him to be able to track him down.
All right, but those cutthroats must know who he is too, right? And if they want to get revenge on him or silence him, you'd better hope they don't get to him before you. So drop everything and get on his trail. Find out what he knows and then report back to me. I'm going to our encampment at Merhayed to oversee the security of the region.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So this completes the quest, and it's good I actually went back to talk to Ginger first, because otherwise you would have missed out on getting that whole thing sorted. That's true, Dr. Darling. Yeah, depending, you know, like what Christian calendar it also might be. That can really differ.
Why choose Merhayed?
It's somewhat at the centre of events, isn't it? And what's more, there's another stud farm there.
Sir, do you think they're going to try the same thing again?
I shouldn't think so. Everyone will be on the alert now, but the secluded dwellings are more vulnerable. There are few people in them. They're scattered everywhere and we can't guard them all.
But the bandits won't find much silver in places like that.
There's always a groschen or two, some food and so on. Anyway, how much silver did they get from slaughtering those horses?
True. If they'd stolen them, they could have sold them. Those were fine animals.
Exactly. It's not about the silver. It's about something else.
But what?
Creating fear. Such great terror that you won't even squeak when they come to cut your throat. Never mind raise your hand against them. Fear that will root you to the spot, staring like a rabbit entranced by a stoat, waiting for the death blow to fall, helpless to do anything about it.
I have some news about the investigation, sir.
Good. Tell me.
It's really weird sometimes how the dialogues are structured. It's like we already talked about the whole like, you know, like investigation. Yeah, listen, it's like, huh? I guess they all have like amnesia. They all have a Garrett of Rivia syndrome. In case you forgot. Yeah.
The trail leads to Uzhitz. I found out one of the bandits is from there, a fellow they call Limpy Lubosh.
I see. What else?
That's all I found out so far, sir.
All right. Come back and report to me as soon as you learn anything new.
Ah, okay, so that's like the dialogue you have when you get to meet him in the other place he's talking about, right? If you want to come back to report to him what you found out so far. And of course, this is like the start of the investigation of that particular person. I see. But it's a bit weirdly programmed, right, if you think about it, because you would think, okay, we're not gonna trigger this dialogue or this dialogue option until you actually meet him in that location. I get that's not always easy to program, but you know, of course, like as a player, when you get to this point, you kind of like be like, okay, that's a no dialogue option. I might as well trigger it. You were like, how do we know his name was Lubish or whatever his name is? That's true. Yeah, from what we know, it was just like a limping dude, right? Did anyone ever tell us his actual name?
Farewell.
Oh wow. Okay, I still can't save a game. But I guess I could sit somewhere here in Neuhof, maybe? Just go on the hay bale and sleep there. Because I can't exit the game until I've actually, you know, saved. And it's really weird. Shouldn't there been? Yeah, there's a save. Okay, never mind. Then we're good. Did save after we finished that quest, of course. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well, you know, find like a sleeping place, since it's also night, and use that as like a, you know, saving opportunity. Could have a look here, but I think all of these are private areas. Wash yourself, sure thing. I could maybe just sit here and let time pass. But I think I'm not gonna do that. We have a save here, and I'd rather get some proper sleep once you actually need it. So yeah, this is gonna be everything we will be doing for this stream. I can also save a quit, I guess. Fair enough. That works. But yeah, this is going to be everything we will be doing for today with Kingdom Come Deliverance. Now granted, we didn't really do that much progress. But that's alright, because I'm still very much enjoying the game. And I feel like we, you know, it's still good progress considering we got past that whole Goose Chase quest, which is definitely designed in a way that's, you know, time consuming. So glad we got that whole part done. And we also had our proper, you know, first fights against multiple enemies, at least 2 bandits at a time. So it's definitely good, you know, getting to a point where the second time we got into that situation, we actually got it done first try. So I feel a bit more confident, you know, going into the next fight against 2 people. I feel like really getting the timing right for the Master Strike is like the most important thing. So once you get that fully down, I think we can also maybe try 3 at a time. You too, Lucinda. Catch you next time. Thank you for being here and for joining. Thank you all so much for joining us today for this stream. There could be another stream on the weekend, but that just will be kind of like spontaneous. Tomorrow I'm gonna be pretty busy until like the later afternoon time, so gonna see. Maybe I do one on Sunday. Should be less things going on there. But you never know, so not gonna like say a specific time or date. If you see me online, then you know, feel free to join us, of course, as always. But yeah, thank you so much everyone for joining us today. Gonna go and raid. And Mita, who's playing The Witcher 1. He's working on finishing my playthrough soon. I think he's actually in the final chapter right now. Ah, yeah, he's just talking to the Lady of a Lake. Catch you next time, Dr. Darling. Thank you for being here. Hope you enjoy your extended weekend too. And if you would like to join us for the raid, feel free to copy and paste those raid emotes in chat. We got one for subs and one for non-subs. If you want to join us for the raid, of course, for this. And if you're interested in joining our Discord, then we also have a link over here. If you want to have, you know, notifications for when I go live, or if you want to participate in, you know, sharing pictures, videos, memes, and the like, feel free to join us on Discord as well. I actually wonder if my YouTube command. Yeah, that also links me to the archives. So if you want to check out my past playthroughs that aren't saved on Twitch, then you can also head over there and you will find all my past playthroughs from the last 4 to 5 years. So yeah, definitely have a look over there too if you want. Extended week. Not a weekend, is it?